Hey guys, welcome back. Obviously this is stage 2 of the Austin pickems. I got my silver coin. I can show it right here and a little preview of what's to come. I recorded a video previously earlier regarding this, and now I'm kind of reconsidering everything. So yeah, God, I'm so conflicted. This is such like a rough one, and I mean it was very rough to get past like stage 1. But I think honestly we're just gonna try to troop through, and you know, we'll see what the fuck happens. But honestly, but yeah, we're gonna just try to predict how everything will play out. This is tough. There's some really tough matchups that we are headed for. Falcons versus B8. Falcons. Okay, we're just gonna say Falcons. Anytime. Base versus Heroic. This is probably one of the more contentious ones in my opinion. A lot of people are putting either FaZe or Heroic to make it through. You don't really know how FaZe is gonna play after they just boot camped. In my opinion, the track record is that FaZe never usually go 3-0 in groups, and that because it is such like a best of one fucking upset. Like I can believe that FaZe will not necessarily go through this very easily, but I think we're gonna say Heroic. This one could go either way. FaZe with Rain should be much better than the FaZe that was with Dallas. FaZe in Dallas. But it's kind of hard. You just really don't know. And in my opinion, track record, they got literally all the cursed items. They have like a white type clothing. They have a boot camp before major. So, you know, they're pulling out all the fucking curses for this tournament. In my previous iteration, I had said that 3D Max were going to go 0-3. I am honestly mistaken. I think 3D Max should probably be beating Bedboom, to be honest. Or Bedboom were looking alright, but Axel was looking like shit. So, yeah. VP versus OG. I feel like if there's any team that could be upset by anyone, it would probably be VP. It could definitely go in favor of VP. But I honestly don't think it would. So, with that being said, I'll probably just say OG come out on top of them. Naviga versus Pain. Pain for me here is probably my 0-3 pick. I'm just not sold on them. They have not been performing up to the standard that I think they should be playing at. So I really want to just put them at 0-3, to be honest. I think a fucking team like an Amiga can come through like tier 2 and just like beat the shit out of them. So we're gonna say that. Linvision versus Furia. Linvision made it through, but they've not been looking very clean. They've been looking very shaky, and a lot of close games. They could definitely like win it over Furia somehow, but I also believe that Furia should just be kind of honed in on what to do. Especially after their more recent performances out of the last couple of tournaments. So I think we could just say that Furia will like make it through for the most part. MIBR versus Legacy. I'm Insani versus Dumal Diff. I'm just gonna say Insani though. I think Insani's just a crazy player. I think he's gonna carry them again. And then M80 versus Tyloo, also very upsettable. I low-key think that Tyloo can win this one. Could go either way. Quite honestly, would definitely change up the seeding of who ends up playing against them. But I'm gonna say that Tyloo make it through, and that G is gonna get his favorite match against Modesty. That's my guess. So in round 2. On the 1-0, we're going to say that Falcons beat Tyloo. 3D Max versus Amiga, I'm probably going to say 3D Max. And then Furia versus OG, this one could honestly go either way. I feel like if there's a team to miss out on the 2-0, it'd probably be OG though. I'm going to say that Furia like make it through. Just with all that prior experience for the most part. And then MIBR versus Heroic, I'm going to say Heroic should be making it through. Bay should be being Legacy. VP versus Linvision. I know a lot of people are putting Linvision down for 0-3. I don't think they're gonna go 0-3. I mean, I feel like if anything, this major proves that like, you know, do not fucking doubt the Asians. Do not fucking doubt us Chinese. Like, we kind of pop off different sometimes. And, you know, with the dysfunctional VP, I think Linvision could definitely upset that match. But on paper, they should be beating them. But we'll get to, you know, how we think about Linvision later on in just a moment. And then you got Pain and Bedboom. Pain hater still. I'm going to say Bedboom. And then M80 versus B8. Or Bait. I think Bait's going to just beat them. M80 are kind of going to have a rough time. You know, I'm American. I want them to do good. Michael's my goat. But you know, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to say, like, you know, whether or not M80 could have a really good run per se. I want them to prove me wrong though. I really want them to prove me wrong. So we'll see. Uh, then for the round 3 stages, we're gonna have Falcons versus Furia. We already know how that's gonna result. Heroic versus 3D Max. I'm gonna still say Heroic, quite honestly. Could be 3D Max though. 3D Max could be like more structurally, like, you know, set for this basically. But we're gonna just say heroic. We're gonna say Heroic. And then OG Tyloo. On paper, it should be OG. I mean, they previously matched up, I think, in stage 1, and OG beat them. So I think we'll still say OG. FaZe versus VP could be an upset, but I'm gonna still say FaZe clan up. MIBR, Amiga. I'm gonna say MIBR. I think MIBR actually have a decent chance to qualify. Quite honestly, I wasn't completely sold on them for the past couple majors, but this time, you know what? I'm actually gonna trust. I'm gonna say. God, I'm gonna fucking jinx it. I'm gonna be like fucking Rotomatic CS. I'm gonna jinx it like Selena. Holy shit. I'm gonna just say though, I think MIBR should be going through. I think they will. Bait versus BetBoom. I'm gonna still say Bait. I mean, it's contestable as to how well Bait actually did to get through the stage, but I am fairly sold on. I think that they had a pretty good run for stage 1. So I think they have a good chance. But we'll see. We'll just see how the rest of the bracket plays out. Vision versus Legacy. I mean, honestly, this could just go like Legacy's way. And I think a lot of people will be putting Vision and or Legacy down there. Which would kind of be like, I would say, a safe pick. But you know what? We fucking gamble, and we don't hate our fucking Asians. We don't hate our Chinese. So we're gonna say Vision actually beat Legacy, okay? This is like all subjective, okay? So honestly, if you are unconfident on this one, that is up to you. You are free to change your pickems around, by the way. But for me, because I am supporting my Chinese brethren, I'm gonna say Vision beat Legacy, okay? But they could definitely lose, okay? They could definitely lose. And then just because I'm a pain hater, I'm gonna say they lose to M80. Okay, we're just gonna say that. We're gonna start Furia, MIBR. Quite honestly, we'll say Furia. I think Furia should be structurally sound. 3D Max versus OG could honestly go either way, but we will probably say, ooh, you know what? Probably one of these teams will go like 2 or 3, surely. Are we doubting 3D Max? Quite possibly, yeah. I don't know. We'll just say on paper 3D Max should be beating OG just because they're more structurally sound as a team. But if OG pop off, then, you know, it just kind of disrupts everything that 3D Max have. Tyloo, Vision. Oh, the Chinese Gauntlet matchup. Fuck me. In my previous prediction, I think I had it where that was going to happen during round 3. But all my seeding's kind of different now. So I think we'll honestly say, or I think, yeah, I don't know. My seeding was completely different. Tyloo on paper should be beating Vision though. Like, they're just better land merchants than Vision. BP versus M80. I think this is the point where we could actually low-key say that M80 could have a chance to beat BP. And then BetBoom versus Amiga. I think I probably will just say, like, BetBoom should be taking over Amiga. But they could definitely lose either way. Could definitely lose this one. Now we have, like, Bait versus MIBR. Low-key, I think we low-key believe in Insani diff for them to make it through. OG versus M80. Shit, I feel like OG are gonna be on like or M80 are gonna be on a solid comeback, and then OG might just like pummel them per se. And then Tyloo versus BetBoom. This one could go either way, but are we crazy to say that we don't want Tyloo to make it through? Are we crazy to say we don't want them to make it through? Okay, I love my G. She's my goat. Okay. Yeah, I think we could just say this. Okay, but let's hop back into the game really quickly and kind of talk about the logistics of everything we just like predicted. Okay, so these are my previous picks from before. I think I honestly still want to say this. We'll just say that FaZe will be our top one and more confidence. I think Furia should be taking that. 3D Max on paper should be taking that. And this one could go multiple ways. M80 are going to have a rough time, so I won't necessarily guarantee that they'll make it through. OG can look very good to make it through, but it's kind of hard to say. We already put the Pain and Legacy grouping down here, but, you know, I think it's very reasonable for you to, like, match up, you know, Lin Vision Legacy or Lin Vision Pain. Just because I think, like, Legacy are a quantifiable force. But, you know, we're believing in our Chinese brothers over there, but, you know, we're hoping they make it through. I think Tai Lu low-key have, like, a 50-50 chance to make it into the next stage. Very hard to say, though, quite honestly. And, I mean, I think Bait 2 have, like, a decent chance. Okay, on paper, one of these 0-3 teams should hit, basically. Like, because we only need 5 correct pickems, right? Like, I think ideally you want to go for, like, 1-3-0, 1-0-3, and 3 advancing. So, you could maybe make 1 to 2 hits off of this and then miss out on one of these slots over here. But as long as you still have the 5 out of 6... and the other 5 out of 6 are, like, contestable to make it through, I think that's fine. 0-3, you could change this up any other way. Legacy or Pain, maybe both. I'm really hoping Pain go through 0-3, quite honestly. I'm just gonna... I'm hate watching for that. M80, I think, could mount a comeback. I don't want to say that they'll be out for the count, but it's gonna be it's gonna be an uphill battle. I'm not completely sold on VP. VP could so make it, though. Fuck me. I think it's safe to say that you could probably bet on the likes of FaZe, Furia, 3D Max to make it through. Maybe OG as well. And then in your, like, more or less confident picks, you could kind of do, like, a mix of either... maybe VP, Bet Boom, or Tai Lu. I would say these 3 teams are, like, kind of your mix. I think less people would be more trusting of Tai Lu to make it through. I mean, honestly, this is their track record as of late. Let's see. Over the last couple months, they beat Big, they beat M80, they beat Astralis, they beat Furia, they beat Proto Furia, they beat Liquid, and they beat Falcons, and they beat FaZe. But lose the fucking FlyQuest. FlyQuest didn't even make it. You lose to fucking Nip, right? You lose to Astralis. You lose to MIBR. I'd say I would trust MIBR more than I would trust VP. Yeah, we fucking hate VP. We ain't putting that shit in. We're not gonna say they're gonna go 0-3, but we're just gonna fucking say that they won't make it through because we just hate VP. Okay. Would we say Bedboom make it through though? I mean, it's kind of... I don't know. I don't necessarily trust the math per se. Because Bait is 9 and Betboom is 11, they're likely gonna turn up against each other like in the rounds 2, 3, probably 3, I'd imagine. So they'll be facing one another. You can honestly make an argument for either team to make it through. But I think we would probably just say Bait just because I'm a little bit more sold on their run, even though they was mostly farming like tier 2 teams for the most part. Yeah, so in my mind, I feel like this is pretty much guaranteed. Heroic FaZe is kind of unsure, so this one could honestly kind of be like the quote-unquote toss-up. You can make an argument that OG will make it through. We'll put FaZe here at this last spot because, you know, they could honestly just like... I don't think they'll go out, but, you know, you may or may not just lose out on the spot if they go 3-0, basically. So, we'll see. But, you know, this is a potential 2. A guaranteed 1, I'd say. At least a guaranteed 1. Probably a guaranteed 1, maybe a 2 as well. Maybe a 0. But I fucking hate Pain, so I'm just gonna put them here. And then I would say that these other ones are, like, the likelihood of, you know, them making it into the next stage, per se. This one is a little bit dicey at the end. That might be our OG Bait, but I feel like they have solid chances. BP, Fraud Watch, M80, uphill battle. Betboom could definitely do good, but it's kind of up in the air. Namiga might just get humbled by experience. Lin Vision, I mean, they're kind of more on the losing end, I think. and Tyloo, I think, have a solid chance to make it into the next stage, but it's kind of a toss-up, basically. But I think we're going to say this is it for our pickems. We'll say now, we're just going to keep it simple. I'm not going to try to think about this any further because I'm kind of losing my mind over this, just trying to process it all. But yeah, anyways, I wish you all the best of luck with these pickems. I'll try to get this video as fast as I can before everything is up. Anyways, thank you for watching, and best of luck on your pickems, and yeah, I'll see you then.